This is the Yuba Boda, and it's my favorite Yuba yet. These bikes have been popular as cargo bikes without any electric motors or anything for quite some time, and they started out with another electric bike where they kind of added different components to it and tried to make it work. And I didn't think that worked so well, but with this bike, they've really nailed it. You know, I enjoyed riding this bike quite a bit, and that's due in large part to them using the BionX system right there. So this is the BionX 350 HT, which stands for high torque. 350 designates the 350 watt hub motor right there, and this thing actually has built-in regenerative braking, which is so cool. I mean, riding this bike is like riding a Prius or something, because you can see there's the menu right there. You can change right from here on the handlebar. You can go up, and that increases your pedal assist level, which means as you pedal, the bike is going to accelerate you. And at the same time, you can use this little throttle. So that little red button right there, if you push it, it just like a scooter or something, it takes off. Now, in addition to having pedal assist and throttle mode, I mentioned the regenerative braking. So anytime you pull on these brakes, you can see on the display how I pull that and that arrow changes. It's pointing to the rear side of the battery. It's pointing to filling the battery. It's like, we're filling it now. And you know, again, that reminds me of the Prius, where you've got the little, you know, animations or whatever showing that you're charging the battery or using the battery. And it's just fun. You know, they've really done a great job, BionX has, with this system. And you don't have to buy this bike to get that system. You can buy it straight from BionX. You can put it on whatever bike you want. But there are some benefits to having it pre-installed, namely that integrating, you know, the brake sensitive regenerative braking can be kind of tricky. You've actually got to, you see that like foam thing in there? There we go. See that right there, where there's that metal piece and it's going next to that black piece of plastic? That has to be set up, you know, and it's kind of hard to do. And then you've got to, back here, it's hard to see because it's got like the skirt protector thing, but they actually have chain rings and there's a hub motor in there, all on the same rear axle, right? And that can be complicated if you have a bike and you're trying to like change the wheel and change the chain and everything. So buying a bike like this, like the Yuba Boda complete, is nice because it's like it's already set up. It all works just fine. So I'm going to go back into the specs on this bike. I mentioned it has a 350 watt gearless rear hub motor, and all regenerative, or most regenerative bikes have gearless hub motors. And that's because the magnets are in there slowing it down. But the cool thing about this, and they have to have room for the magnets versus the gears, the cool thing about this setup is that it's really smooth. It coasts smooth. There's fewer parts to get worn out. There's no gears in there or anything. It is a little bit heavier though. And this bike has all of the electronics situated at the rear. You know, there's the rear hub motor. There's the battery pack right here. There's a huge rack. Look at the front. There's nothing up there. And so carrying this upstairs or trying to mount it on a car could be kind of tricky. And this isn't the only bike that suffers from that. So just keep that in mind. It's got a nice light built into the rear there. You've got this nice, almost a seat, so you can sit someone up here. You've got, again, this protector. It's like a skirt guard or whatever, so you don't get your shoelaces or anything caught. You do have to pay extra for these like matching running boards. And I guess Yuba, it charges a lot for some of their extras, which is kind of a bummer. You know, it's like, you know, really couldn't throw in a couple little pieces of wood. But, you know, I guess they got to make money. It makes sense. This bike is fairly reasonably priced. So, you know, it's fine. Then you've got this nice seat, and I like the fact that it's sprung, but it's also kind of this vintage look. And the handlebars are awesome because it's fun to ride. Your hands are relaxed. But at the same time, by putting them way out like that and towards you, you're not leaning over. You're not going to get shoulder and back stiffness and neck stiffness going over bumps. The tires, even though they're sort of standard size, they actually absorb a lot of the bumps. So this bike has been a pleasure to ride. I think I mentioned before it's got 8 speeds. They've got like one oversized chain ring, just one ring in the front, and it's got this nice chain guard, right? So if you are wearing pants or whatever, you're not going to get them all greasy. Super cool oversized kickstand, and I think that's kind of it. You know, you plug the bike in, you hop on. you turn this up to however much assistance you want, and then you just go, you ride, and it works really well. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on. Oh, and I neglected to mention that it's got sort of V-brakes. A lot of electric bikes now are, using disc brakes and stuff, but this is sort of that just relaxed, like cruiser kind of look and feel, or maybe more vintage style, and it works well. And those, they're proven, tested brakes. They work fine enough. The pedals work all right. I'm a bigger fan of the metal Welgo pedals, because sometimes when plastic ones or rubber ones get wet, they get a little slippery, so be careful. I'm going to hop on, boink. I'm going to try to demonstrate what I was talking about before. So I'm pedaling right now, and got it in pedal assist mode. There we go. There we go. Kind of going into the sun here. Yeah, it works pretty well, and it's very comfortable, and I'm a fan of that because I kind of get a stiff neck easily. So, again, I've looked at other Yuba bikes, and this is definitely my favorite. I'm a fan of the BionX system. I'm not a fan of setting it up, so being able to find a bike that looks pretty. It's got a cool bell, by the way. You hear that? Being able to find a bike that's already set up like this is cool. And I kind of like the rear cargo rack. Someone could ride there. You could strap some stuff, but it also looks nice. So anyway, for the full written review, more pictures and comments and stuff, check out ElectricBikeReview.com. I'll see you there.